No, I'm just playing, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to OK Weirded. It's your boy, Big T. Hey, I know I've been gone for a while. Back like we never left. And I hate to do that at the beginning, because don't you hate when you watch a video and the host just starts doing other things besides getting to the video? It's irritating, all right? Anyway, hey, I apologize. I know I have been absent. As you can see, I'm in the truck. I've been working a lot and have family things going on, but the show must go on. I can't wait for a perfect time to start the videos again, because I want to keep it coming. I'm sorry for the long absence. Trust me, I can't. I did not like it, but it's good. It's good that I'm in the truck, because the encounter I'm going to tell you deals with being in the trucking. Truckers do see a lot of creepy, weird, unexplained stuff out there on the road, whether traveling late at night, rural areas. We see a lot of things. I've seen a lot of stuff myself. Stuff that some stuff I can't even really form into a story because it happens so fast, like something running across the road just within, out of sight, out of the headlights, or just within the headlights. And by the time you get up there, you can't explain what you saw. It just happened like that quick. Okay, it happens. It happens. I know in trucking they say something about the black dog dealing with sleep. You start seeing shadows and stuff, and that's kind of a myth. But there are things, as you know, out here, and being out on the road, being in different states, different areas, we encounter a lot in trucking. I've encountered a lot in life, because pretty much every career I had has been dealing with being outside, whether it was military, whether it was being in law enforcement, now trucking, plus stuff I seen as a kid growing up in a rural area of North Carolina, visiting my family in Virginia, which is basically home of the one of the home states of the Civil War. Growing up in my grandparents' house that was built back in the 1800s. Not growing up in the house, but visiting my grandparents' house, and I got a lot of encounters on that's going to be coming too. But this one deals with what I saw one night in the truck. I'm currently bagged into a dock. It's in the daytime. As you see what the title says, was it a dog man? I don't think it was a skunk. What do you call it? A skunk ape? Because this happened in Florida, and Florida likes to call Bigfoot skunk ape. I don't think this was a Bigfoot, because it started out on all fours. Now, you guys, imagine seeing that video. I'm gonna play a clip of it from 2019, where the guy in Florida caught what appeared to be a dog man in his backyard. He caught it on camera. That video has been played by a lot of uh, 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 YouTubers, a lot of paranormal investigators have watched that video, and have showed it, and I guarantee you guys seen it. I'm going to show it again. Please forgive the profanity in it. I am not a good editor to take that, beep beep and all that. But that's a great video. I really, really, really believe that's true encounter. I don't know this kid's technical level. This man's technical level. Excuse me, grown man, because I'm old, so everybody younger than me seems like a kid. But grown man, I don't know his technical skills, but for him to, if that was something that he did and made, then he is great. He needs to get a job in films. Truthfully, that to me is one of the best Dogman videos out there. Great video. I'm going to play it because what I encountered down in Florida, his encounter happened in Fort Pierce, Florida. My encounter happened a little outside of Tampa. I'm not going to say the town, but Florida, Dogman in Florida is wild. It's wild. And I wasn't in a rural area, but I'm going to play that clip for you. And I'm going to let you check out that clip so you know exactly what I'm talking about, and exactly pretty much what he saw is, again, it's close to what I saw. I guarantee you. So y'all watch this video, y'all watch this clip, and let me know what you think.
I fucking backed over and show y'all that the picture came from in the back of my fucking yard. Let me see if I can flip this bitch around. That's the exact motherfucking spot now. That's my backyard. I'm zooming in a little little piece. This is the exact spot that I just. Hold on. Listen, dog. What in the fuck?
Wow, you seen that video? Like I said, a lot of y'all probably seen that video before. That came out, like I said, like in 2019. Crazy what that young man caught in his backyard. That is, to me, is the best video so far that I have seen of a dogman encounter. Did you see how that thing moved? Did you see how the legs went blurry? What he encountered, what he captured, almost is identical, not look wise, but what it did of what I encountered. And that's the blurry legs, how it ran, and the legs went blurry, and the whole thing went blurry. Great video. Tell you my encounter, but in between, so you guys can get a visual. You know, I'm gonna stop the video. This video, and I'm gonna play a video that I took of I was in a warehouse area in the truck. This happened probably in 2023. It's only my second dogman encounter. Trust me, I ain't had a bunch of them. This was the wolf variant that I encountered this time. I had the hyena encounter back when I was in the military, back in 2008 or something like that. This was the wolf variant that I encountered a few years ago while trucking. A lot of truck drivers see stuff. I'm telling you, we're out here on this road. It's crazy. We see things we just can't explain. Whether it's something that crossed the road in front of us that happened real quick, something we seen at the edge of the woods. It happens, man. We're out here in this roadway, on these roads, and we see things. Now, the encounter I had, I'm gonna show you the clip of the video I took the other night, because I was in a warehouse area in Georgia that was similar to the one I was in Florida. I call it an alley warehouse district. It's an industrial warehouse part where there's pretty much nothing but warehouses. There's nothing around. I'm tripping over my daggone cords here. There's absolutely like nothing around but warehouses. The nearest gas station thing is probably a couple of miles away, but you can still see main roadway, everything like that. But sometimes we get to these warehouses and we call we run out of time. And what I mean by run out of time is we don't have any more time to drive. We literally have a clock. I'm gonna show you this clock real quick so you guys can see it. Make sure you guys see this clock. I don't know if you can see the numbers on it, but we count down. And when that clock is over, it hits zeros, we can't drive. So wherever we're at, we got to shut down. There's special circumstances where you can drive, but for the most part, we have to shut down and stay where we're at for 10 hours, regardless. And sometimes these warehouses, they let you stay there. Now in the daytime, it's all good. There's trucks coming in and out, you know, people moving around. You can see things, but at night, you know, people are gone. And this particular night, I was the only truck there. I think my clock ran out maybe, I think I started like 5, 6 o'clock. So my time wouldn't come back up to about 3, 4 in the morning when I can roll again. Now, I'm going to tell you what I encountered real quick. And then I'm going to show you kind of the video I took. I'm going to show you so you have a visual of the setting. It was an alley warehouse, where I call it, where you got two warehouses facing each other. Trucks can bag into that warehouse in front of you, and then you can bag into the warehouse in front of that. Well, you know, so you could be facing another truck. You could be in the dock door of the warehouse. Truck could be right across the street from you in another dock, and there's like a thoroughway between you. It's a good distance because trucks got to pull out, pull in, stuff like that. So it's probably like the width of I'm gonna say just a little wider than a 2-lane road in front of you. That makes sense. So I call it an alleyway. On one side, I'm all the way at the end. I'm back, where I'm bagged into a wall because I finished with the dock. They told me to go to the very end of their warehouse, bag up to the wall where they don't have dock doors, and I can stay there for the night. Beside me is a road that goes past the warehouses, and then all the way on the far end, maybe a good 50 yards, is another road that does the same thing. Sorry, I'm just looking around. They're unloading me now, and I can see one of the dock doors is open, so people cross my mirror. I can see them. So I'm sitting there. I'm the only truck there. Only truck, only vehicle there. And these warehouses, they shut down. They shut down. I mean, they leave lights on. You can see in the video that I made how they leave lights on. It's still dark, but they leave lights. Now, I was fairly outside. I was in a couple of towns outside of Tampa. I don't know how close it was to Fort Pierce with that young man had his encounter. I'm not going to say the town, like I said, but um, it wasn't populated, or it wasn't heavily populated. It wasn't rural. I could see lights off in the distance, maybe a service station down the road. I can see a main road that I came in on a good ways away. And if you've been to Florida, they have like little small marshes here and there and little trees, but nothing heavily. There was no heavy woods that I could see nearby from when I was there in the daytime. There was really no heavy woods. So to have an encounter in like a suburban area was very, very strange. Didn't expect this at all. Now, like I said, when these warehouses shut down, because in the daytime, they will allow you to use their bathrooms, the restrooms, stuff like that. But at night, they lock up. They're gone. You're on your own for restrooms. I mean, you got to make do. Hope you got some food in your truck. But this particular warehouse did have a porta-john. Porta-john, porta-potty, whatever you want to call it. But it was at the other end of where I was at, maybe 10 yards from the other side, the roadway, in front of the other building. That was the only porta-john I could see. I say probably about 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, I got up out the bed, had to go to the bathroom. Okay, hey, just gotta do what you gotta do. That porta-john's the only thing available. Get up, put my shoes on. I wasn't in this truck. I was in another truck at the time, and yes, you gotta do what you gotta do. Yes, I had to go use a porta-john. A lot of people are like, oh my God, they had to use a porta-john. Yeah, it's just, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. Okay, it's better than having nothing. But I got up, had my basketball shorts on, I had my shirt on. I sat, not this particular seat because I was in another truck, but I sat here in the seat, had my shoes, excuse me real quick, y'all. And I sat here, putting my shoes on. Now I'm facing this way. And at the end, what I saw is I could see the porta-john, I could see the roadway and the two buildings and the long roadway in between those buildings. What I saw freaked me out. Freaked me out. I thought it was a dog, a huge dog, a big, big dog. Okay. And I'm gonna get into detail exactly what it did, because it came around the corner, like it came from the side of the one building that was across from me, and it was sniffing around, and then it took off after it saw me looking at it across. I'm gonna play the video for you of what, not the video, that encounter. I wish I had it on video, but I'm gonna show you the video that I took so you can get a visual of the setup. Then we're gonna get back in. I'm gonna describe a little more in depth what I saw. Okay, y'all, check this out. Okay, Weirded fan, like I told y'all, I was gonna show y'all the type of setting I was in. I'm at this warehouse. It's the middle of the night. I'm about to roll out, but down in Florida, this isn't the exact warehouse area I was in Florida. I'm not in Florida right now, but this is the exact type of warehouse setting I was in that I had to stay the night at. And I'm going to show y'all exactly the setup. This is exactly how the setup was. All right, as you can see, warehouse, front of those trees and woods there is a road that runs right beside it that goes back to other warehouses. This way, as you can see, I'm gonna zoom in. Warehouse, warehouse. There's a road that runs right on the other side of these two warehouses. Zoom in on that if I can. Hopefully it won't get too fuzzy. There's a road that runs. This is an alleyway type warehouse. That's what I call it. I don't know what exactly the proper term is for it. But like I told you, if you look between, we'll do it this way. If you hear a truck running in the background, that's mine. I'm the only truck out here running. Not the only truck out here, but the only truck out here running. So I think I am probably the only trucker here. But could be people in that truck, those trucks sleep. I don't know if they're not running. But at the time, I was the only truck at the warehouse area. The only truck. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how it came. If you look from, I guess, left to right, like it ran from the side of that left building down the street, disappeared on the side of that right building, that right warehouse. So it was at the end there when I saw it. Well, I saw it, you know, from beginning to end, but it ran down the street from one warehouse, passed to the next warehouse, and of course was gone beside the buildings. Where it went from there, I don't know. And it wasn't woods, like how that's woods, it wasn't woods. So it was pretty much like this setting right here. Like I said, that was down in Florida. It's creepy out. That's why I wanted to show you guys. Okay, if you get into trucking, you're gonna deal with stuff like this. You're gonna deal with being in settings like this sometimes. Even worse, you might not even be in a warehouse district. You might be parked somewhere by the woods and you know, out in no man's land. But I wanted to show you guys this exactly of the type of setting when I saw what I gotta call Dogman. That's all I can think of. It was something weird, and it was in Florida. Okay, we're gonna get back to the rest of the video, so I can, you know, we talk a little more about it. But I just wanted to show you this type of setup. I'm glad I got to be out here. Like I told you guys, I've been on the road, but glad I got to show you this type of setup that it was, so you can get a visual of exactly the setting where I saw that Dogman. Okay, guys, so you saw the setup. That's exactly the layout I was talking about with the warehouses. There was this particular warehouse area like that wasn't quite as long as that one, but it was a pretty good distance. But it wasn't as long as that one, and there were no trucks out there at the time. I was the only truck. Okay, now if you saw that light blinking down there from that warehouse, that was actually a short in that light. That's why I was blinking on and off. I've been to that warehouse before, and it just so happens that night, it just dawned on me, because I had to stay the night at that one, and it just dawned on me, like, this was this whole type of setup. Now, what I'm telling you, that was the setup with it. Now, when this Dogman, which I thought was a dog, appeared, it was on all fours, but it was pretty large. On all fours, it looked like it came up almost to my chest. Now, I'm sitting there putting my shoes on, and I'm stuck looking at it. I'm looking at it, it looking at me, we're looking at each other. Well, before then, because it wasn't looking at me at first. It was sniffing, and it had the pointy ears. Now this, I'm gonna describe it as, you ever seen a Belgian Malinois? The police use them, military uses them now. They're not as big as German Shepherds, but they kind of resemble them, and they don't have the fur like them. It was brown, it was darker brown. It was brown. It was darker than Belgian Malinois, but it had the slim body. It didn't have the big bulk body like a lot of people describe the wolf Dogman variant. They describe it with, yeah, I learned that word, variant. They describe these Dogmen. The truck is rocking and shaking. That's because the forklift is unloading me. But it wasn't big or muscular. It looked like a slim, big dog. Like it was slim, like it was skinny kind of. And it had the pointy ears, and it was sniffing. And I guess it felt me looking at it, because it looked up, and that's when we're looking at each other. It looked up. Now from that distance, I'm a good 50 yards from where he's at. It looked up, and I can tell you this thing like it looked right in my eyes. I'm in the truck, and it like it looked in my eyes, and it just froze for a second. Now where that young man's video comes into play is because it didn't stand up like when I saw the hyena Dogman stand up with two legs and flex his chest. It didn't stand up like that. It stood up, and that's when I've got a good look that it was kind of skinny, but you can see the fur, little fur shaggy off of it. It stood up, but it stood up kind of still hunched over, like the back legs was on the ground, still like a dog, and it stood up like how a dog would beg, and it had his hands, his front paws like this, but they were off the ground, and he had them chest level, and he's kind of looking at me like that, kind of like just a weird hunching look. That's how it was looking at me, and how it was standing. It never stood full up like a man and on two legs. It was on two legs, but never like stretched his body or anything. It was hunched, like how a dog would like jump around like that. That's how I was hunched, and that's how I stood up looking at me. And that's when I almost didn't have to go to the Porta John no more because it was about to be an accident. I'm frozen. That's when it dawned on me, this is not a dog. This is not a wolf. This is not a coyote. And then it just turned. It turned sideways and took off running. Now you see how far apart those buildings are in that roadway. So I got a good look at this thing run. The legs went blurry. The bottom two legs went blurry. But the top, it's moving, but it's almost like I could see its top from the side clear as day. Like there was none of like how people run like this with their arms. It wasn't doing that. It was running, but its whole top body was perfectly still. Almost like the legs went blurry and somebody sat it on like those rollers, like rollers. Because almost like it was floating, rolling, moving fast. But like I said, it had a good ways to go. That's how it looked like. The legs wasn't spinning, they just went blurry. That makes sense. That's how it took off running. Blurry legs, almost like it was on wheels going across. That's how this thing was running. Freaked me out. I saw it plain as day. I wish I would have had the sense enough to grab my phone and record it, but I'm telling y'all, when you have these encounters, the last thing you think about is your phone. Your brain's trying to process what you're thinking, what you're seeing. Excuse me. It making talking. I don't talk a lot. I be in the truck by myself, so talking really takes a lot. You gotta have something to drink, some water. But I didn't think to grab my phone because I'm trying to process what I'm seeing, and I've had a lot of encounters. I had the hyena encounter. I didn't see ghosts, spirits, but I don't. Unless I'm actively ghost hunting, which I haven't done in years, I don't look for these things. So when I see something, it just catches me off guard like any human being it would. Your brain, to me, I'm not a psychologist, but it's just your brain got to process what you're seeing and then it's gone. You don't think about recording anything until later. Like, I wish I got that on camera. But at the time, you're in the moment. I'm just hoping this thing doesn't decide to turn around and come at my truck. Because even though, yeah, I can crank this truck up, even though if I'm out of time, I'm still can move it. It still can roll. The clock don't stop the truck from moving, but it still takes a while to get these big old semis going. Okay, by then it can rip my door off and jump in by the time this thing decides to go. So that's what I'm thinking. That's when you're in the moment, you're just freaked out and hope nothing comes at you. But like I said, to me, that was the wolf variant. It wasn't the fox. I've actually had an encounter with the fox variant, which was very cool. That experience was cool. I'm gonna tell that in another story. But to me, it was the wolf. Like I said, it wasn't as big and muscular as they described the wolf variants because it was very slim and it was like a brown, just a straight brownish color, almost like my skin tone. Brown fur, had long pointy ears, and it stood hunched. But when it ran, the bottom legs went blurry. So creeped me out. Like I said, I don't know where it went. It could have went other warehouses down the road. And like you could see the lighting. Like you see how the warehouse in that video I showed you, the warehouses are lit up. It's dark, but it's lit at the same time. So that was my encounter with the wolf variant Dogman. Y'all let me know what you think. I guess because I've been seeing, like I told you, I'm not a medium. I'm not a ghost whisperer. I'm an amateur ghost hunter because of the experiences that I've had since I was a kid. I've had experiences in the military. I had outside jobs in the military. I didn't work in the office. I was out there in the field, as they call it. Law enforcement outside, trucking outside. You know, truckers go to different states, different towns, all times of nights, different interstates. We see stuff. Yeah, some truckers will probably make things up just to tell a cool story to kids, but that trucker still have seen some real things. Some things we just can't explain. They happen so quick. Just don't know what happened. But thank you guys so much for rocking with OK Weirded. Once again, I do apologize. It's been so long since I dropped a video. I can't promise you I'm going to drop a video every week. I can't promise you I'm going to drop a video every 2 weeks. I'm just going to drop them when I get a chance to drop them because life happens and the show must go on. I got to pay bills. I wish these videos and my encounters that I told you guys pay the bills, but I don't even do it for that. I do it because I want to get my encounters out there because this stuff is real. It happens, and I hope that I don't really hope that all this stuff comes to the forefront because I really don't think society is ready for it, and I think they would just try to kill anything they come across. That's just my own personal, what they call it, conspiracy. That's my own thing. But I do hope it comes to where people go, okay, this stuff does exist. Everybody, knows it. We're gonna leave it alone, as long as they leave us alone. And my videos, my encounters, and other people's encounters are documentation that we knew this stuff was out there. That's why I tell my encounters, I want to get it out there. Plus, it just helps to get it out there, to acknowledge it. I've kept a lot of this stuff bottled up for years, and I want to get it out there. But once again, like I said, thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for rocking with OK Weirded, your boy Big T. Appreciate you guys. I promise I'm not going to go 2 and 3 months without dropping a video, though. I can promise that. I'm going to drop something. We're going to continue with the show. We're going to continue everything we do, movie reviews. I'm going to continue with my shorts, my clips, commenting on little short videos, whether it's funny, whether it's scary. And I appreciate you guys. Thank you for rocking with me. Until the next time.